What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we're going to continue our coverage over the X-Men. Now, as you all know, we are currently covering Fatal Attractions on my channel. Now, like I said in my other videos, when it came to Fatal Attractions, you had the main storyline, but you also had other storylines that took place in between the chapters of the main storyline. And so, as we're trying our best to cover the main storyline, we're also trying to cover all the different stories that took place between all of those chapters. Like, for example, today's video, which is X-Force Annual Issue number 2. Now, this is really important because it does introduce a set of characters, but only one of these characters is going to be somewhat important for later storylines down the road when it comes to our coverage over the X-Men. And really, as we get into the opening pages for today's video, we do pick up with a character known as Michelle Balters. Now, you would think that Michelle would be the character that I'm talking about that is going to reappear in later books down the road. I'm going to tell you right now, no. This was her only appearance ever in Marvel Comics. But the character who's chasing her down right now, Adam X, better known as X-Treme, he's the one we're going to see a few more times down the road in later stories when it comes to the X-Men and all its different teams. Now, when it comes to X-Treme, we see him trying to chase down Michelle. And the reason why, because he is working for somebody else. And apparently, she used to as well, but she had escaped. And so that person has sent Adam to chase her down and to bring her back to the facility. Now, before we are able to learn properly about the powers of both Michelle and also, well, Adam X, aka X-Treme, you do have X-Treme get attacked from behind. And we kind of find out very quickly that he was actually attacked by, well, no other than X-Force. Now, when it comes to our heroes doing battle against Adam, we do learn very quickly what his powers actually is. Now, here's the thing. At first, you would think that his mutant ability would be the idea that when it comes to Adam, he could move very quickly. But that's not his actual ability. As a matter of fact, the reason why he could do that will be explained in later videos down the road. But for right now, for X-Treme, Adam here, his mutant ability is when he's able to ignite the electrolytes in your body, inside your blood. Now, here's the thing. Before he is able to use his mutant ability, he has to cut you first. But once he's able to cut you, then he is able to use his mutant ability. And so, because we saw earlier that he was so fast, he was able to cut every single member of the X-Force team that came on this mission. And with him being able to cut them, he was then able to use his mutant ability, taking out the entire team in a matter of seconds, sending shockwaves throughout their entire bodies, from the very top of their bodies to the very bottom of their bodies. Now, with that being said, for Adam, he realized that his best chance right now is to go ahead and retreat and to let X-Force go ahead and take Michelle with them. Now, for Adam X here, he kind of believes that he has the advantage over our heroes. And what I mean by that statement is that they're heading back to their base. And so his goal right now is to follow them back to their base and to hopefully ambush them once they get back home to their base. Except he has no idea that X-Force knows that he is trying to follow them. And so even though they're going to go back to their base, they're setting up a trap for him once they do get back home. Now, we do learn from Cable that there is another team handling something else for X-Force. But now we have to jump over to Denver, Colorado, where we pick up with Cannonball and also Siren. Now, we see our two characters right now undercover at some scientific research facility, better known as Foundations. Now, like I said, they're undercover. They're pretending to be interns at this facility. Now, with that being said, as they walk around the entire lab, they realize that there is a door they are not allowed to go through. Now, their mentor tells them like, hey, listen, you need some kind of special clearance to go inside that lab right there. Government clearance. And that tells our heroes that they came here for that door right there. And so later on in the night, we do pick up with Cannonball and Siren being able to break into that actual secret room. Now, when they do, they find all these different mutants right now being held hostages for some unknown reason. It seems like they're being used for some kind of experiment, but they also came here for another team member of theirs, and that would be, well, Pharaoh. It seems like Pharaoh's right now being held hostage as well in his lab alongside with all the other mutants. Now, I want to jump back over to Adam because earlier we saw Adam believe that he was so smart with the idea of following our heroes back home to their base and hoping to get the jump on them. But in reality, for Adam, he had no idea that they knew that he was trying to follow them. And so for our heroes, they were able to set up a trap for him once he arrives at their base. And once he does, bam, just like that, he's now battling against some members of X-Force. Now, in the middle of their battle, we do learn a few things about the character. Like, for example, he is a mutant, but he's not from Earth. He's from a different planet. Now, unfortunately, he does tell us that he does not remember anything from his past. But like I said earlier, there's going to be later storylines down the road where Adam's going to be very important for as we work our way through our coverage over the X-Men. Now, when it comes to Adam, he also tells us that he is trying to make sure that he does not become the man that he is supposed to be. And apparently, he is supposed to be the guy killing off every single mutant on the entire planet. But now we have to jump over to the other members of X-Force who did not fight against Adam X. And that would be Cable, Sunspot, and Boom Boom. And currently, they're with Michelle. Now, this is going to give us the chance to learn a tad bit more about this character, even though she'll never appear again in Marvel Comics. Now, when it comes to Michelle, she has the ability to kind of send energy pulses through someone's optic nerves and also through their nervous system as well. Now, here's the thing. She has to lock eyes with that person that she's, well, attacking. Now, apparently, when she gained her mutant ability, it did cause a lot of problems for her and her family, so she ran away. Now, when she did run away, she ran over to a company called Strong Industries. Now, this company alone was trying to go out of their way to find different teenage mutants out there that had nowhere else to go, technically runaways. And so they said, hey, listen, if you are a runaway, we have a place for you, somewhere to live. Now, here's the thing. Even though you got that place to live, they're going to use you as a guinea pig. And so we do learn very quickly the company is being run by a character known as Martin Strong, who is going to be the main bad guy of today's video. Now, when it comes to Martin Strong, the reason why he's going out of his way to find different teenage mutants is to study them, to hopefully find a way to eliminate the mutant gene so that mutants down the road cannot be born at all. Basically trying to kill off the mutant race in a different kind of way. But you have Michelle also tell us that it's part of Project Wide Awake. Now, we have not really sat down and talked much about Project Wide Awake. Just know that this is a secret government plan as a way to kind of prepare for the possibility of future attacks down the road from superpower beings, but especially the mutant race. And so it seems like this is just another way to find a way to control the mutant race, to kind of eliminate it or to at least slow down the rise of more mutants coming down the road. And so for Cable, his idea is to go over to find Martin Strong and to bring him down before he is able to create an actual cure. Now we have to jump back over to Cannonball and also Siren. Now these two characters, they are currently talking about what they had saw earlier in that secret part of the lab. But while they are talking, they were overheard by Martin Strong, the person in charge of the entire company. Now, this is the moment where we do learn that he is also a mutant. And it's kind of like, wait a second, why is a mutant trying to kill off the mutant race? And that'll be explained at the very end of this video. But either way, you do have Cannonball and also Siren trying their best to bring him down. but unfortunately, they lose the battle in a matter of seconds. And we're kind of left to believe that one, he's very durable and very strong, but also just maybe there could be more about him we don't know just yet. Now, after the big battle, we do pick up with Strong kind of holding now all three characters, Feral, Siren, and also Cannonball hostages. Now, Cannonball and Siren, they're still knocked out, but for Feral, she's wide awake. Now, for Feral, we begin to learn there's a tad bit more going on when it comes to Strong. And here's the reason why I'm saying that, because you have Feral being able to break free and attack Strong. Now, she is easily stopped, but after attacking him, she was able to realize that she hears two heartbeats coming from his body. And it's kind of like, how is that even possible? This begins the process of us learning more about the character. But now we have to jump over to the rest of X-Force, who's outside the actual facility. Now, their main goal is to break into the place, but they got a plan. So first, we're going to send in a team like Adam X and two other members of X-Force. And the reason why, because once you have Adam being able to connect with Cable from inside the base, the rest of the team will then have the ability to teleport inside the base. And so you have Adam X use his ability on both Boom Boom and Richter to pretend that they are his hostages. And then you have him just walk into the base to trick Strong into believing that Adam's still on his side. Now, once you have Adam being able to get inside the base of Strong with his two supposed hostages, he was then able to connect with Cable. Now, once he was able to connect with Cable, Cable was able to body slide, teleport the rest of X-Force in there. And it does lead into a big battle in the entire facility. Now, for Strong, that was when he realized that he has been played, that technically Adam is no longer on his side. Now, like I said earlier, when it came to this book, we were going to be introduced to a bunch of new characters, Strong, Adam, and also Michelle. But here's the thing, Michelle, like I said earlier, you would believe that she would be reappearing later on in other books down the road, but she doesn't. But the reason why I say you should feel like that, because we then kind of find out that Michelle is actually working for Strong. You see, Strong sent her out there to find other mutants like X-Force and bring those mutants over to, well, where his facility is at. Now, for Adam, he has no idea. He actually believed that for Michelle, she was turning over the side of good. And that's why he joined the side of X-Force, because he believed in her, but also the idea of what he was doing was really wrong, hunting down other mutants. But we do learn that the only reason why she had helped out Strong was because of her family. Like I said earlier, when it came to her mutant ability, it did cause some problems for her family. Well, we come to find out she put her parents in comas for 2 years, and that had ruined their entire financial situation. And so for Strong, he promised her that he'll be able to help them if she helps him. And so that is why she's on his side at the moment, to help out her parents. Now for Adam, he was able to take out both Strong, but also take out Michelle as well. But now we begin to learn everything about Strong. Because remember, earlier when it came to Feral, she told us that she heard two heartbeats coming from his body. And we were left to wonder, how was that even possible? Well, we kind of find out that the only reason why she heard two heartbeats, because one of those heartbeats is, well, a fake one. Let me explain. You see, when it came to Strong, when he had gained his mutant ability, well, he became a genius. But there was a second mutation. The whole idea, his hands and feet were turned into fins. Yes, you heard that right. And so because of that, he hated the way he looked. So what he did instead was create a fake body to use as a way to move around. And that explains why for Feral, she had detected earlier 2 different heartbeats. Now, here comes the big question. Should X-Force shut down the entire facility that Strong had built up? The reason why I'm saying that, because at the end of the battle, you have our heroes wondering what to do here. Because for them, they're like, listen, what they're trying to achieve at this lab is to get rid of the X gene that creates mutants across the world, to hopefully allow future mutants to not be born, to allow those kids to live a normal life. But here's the problem though. They're using other mutants as lab rats to achieve that goal. And so for Cannonball, he hates the idea of other mutants being used as a way to create this cure. But at the same time, is it really bad to give other kids the actual chance to be normal? And so you have X-Force really leave to kind of allow Strong to continue to work, but allow the other mutants he had there to go be free. Now, with that being said, like I said, when it comes to all these new characters, only Adam X will be reappearing in later stories down the road. Now, for X-Force, they do ask him to join, and he says no. But we're going to see him again down the road in later X-Force comics. Matter of fact, in X-Force issue number 29, which we'll be covering very soon. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.